A martial artist with a black belt challenged an African-American custodian to a friendly sparring match. "Excuse me, you over there cleaning? Want a quick demonstration?" Derek Mitchell called from the mat, dark belt gleaming. "Bet you've never seen a real fight in your life." James Washington, 42, paused mopping. He'd worked here 3 weeks, always after hours. Tonight the expert class had run late. "No intention of disturbing you, master," James said calmly, scrubbing a stubborn mark. Derek laughed loudly. Everyone look, too scared to step on the mat. No one knew James had spent 20 years erasing his true identity. James Silent Storm Washington, 5-time world MMA champion. He'd quit after an accident killed his closest friend, vowing never to fight again. "Come on, friend," Derek pressed, smug grin in place. "Show my students the difference between someone who trains and someone who just cleans." James felt that old sensation, like a sleeping muscle awakening. He set down the mop bucket and rose, graceful for someone supposedly untrained. "Very well," he said, calm as a still lake. "But when we finish, you'll apologize to everyone here for making a spectacle of this place." The students formed a half circle. Sarah Chun, a young woman in the group, looked uneasy. Derek, oblivious, made a subtle racial jab. James remembered hearing the same tone decades ago, fuel for the rage that had once cost him everything. Sarah tried to intervene. "Maybe we should resume class." "Sarah Chun, are you questioning my methods?" Derek barked, using her full name for dominance. James saw fear in her eyes, the same he'd once seen in his own. Derek mocked James again. James stood still, absorbing it. When Derek pushed his shoulder, James didn't budge. The air shifted. Derek kept provoking, unaware each word was waking something far more dangerous than anger. Clarity. "Final seat." "Hans," Derek threatened, "join in or I'll call security. You'll lose your job." "Acceptable," James replied, voice quiet but commanding. "And when we finish, you'll explain why you turned this place into a spectacle of degradation." To his students, Derek boasted, "You'll see why hierarchy exists in martial arts." James stood motionless, then subtly shifted, shoulders aligned, stance perfect. Sarah felt a chill. This was a predator's stillness before the strike. Derek attacked. James wasn't there. Sidestep, lean, step back, each evasion flawless. "Good speed," James murmured, "but you telegraph with your shoulder." Frustrated, Derek threw a flurry, jab straight hook. James slipped every strike, noting openings Derek didn't know he had. On Derek's third rush, James closed the distance. "Want to know the difference between gym fighters and arena fighters?" he asked, then touched Derek's chest with one palm. Derek flew backward 2 meters, landing stunned. Silence. James extended a hand. "It's simple, once you understand leverage, timing, and energy." Derek ignored it, legs shaking. 22-year professional career in what? Sarah answered, reading from her phone. James Washington, Silent Storm, 5-time world MMA champion, retired undefeated after an incident that killed his training partner. The room froze. Derek's color drained. "I didn't know. If you had, would you have shown me respect, or still humiliated another janitor who couldn't fight back?" James asked. Sarah stepped forward. "What I saw wasn't teaching, it was intimidation." Students murmured agreement. Derek apologized. James accepted but added, "Apologies are the first step. What matters is what you do next." 3 months later, the gym had changed. Sarah convinced the owner to hire James as an instructor in advanced technique and philosophy. Derek lost half his students in a week. Sarah's discreet video had gone viral, humiliating him publicly. "Instructor James," Sarah said after class, "thank you for showing me strength doesn't need to be displayed to be real." "The best lesson," James replied, "is never judged by occupation or appearance. Everyone has a story that could astonish you." Derek now taught at a smaller gym, modesty replacing arrogance. Justice had come quietly, like a storm that transforms without noise, proof that greatness comes from character, not titles.